Hi, I'm Bethsaida Carlos, your reporter for today. My topic is about the vision, mission, and goals of TESTA, DepEd, and CHED. Aims of education according to the Constitution, under Section 1, the state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens, quality education at all levels, and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. Um, excuse me. Our education in the Philippines is highly accessible, and in public education it is free and with high quality. Under Section 1, the Philippine government is protecting the right of its citizens to quality education at all levels. Their step is providing scholarships, the free tuition fee in public education institution. Section 2. The state shall establish, maintain, and support a complete, adequate, and integrated system of education relevant to the need of the people and society. Under Section 2 talks about the content of quality education. We changed our curriculum from BEC to K-12 for us to adapt to the fast pace of education because of the advancement of technology. Principle and general objectives of education. In the Philippines, the education system aims to provide a broad general education that will assist each individual in society to attain his/her potential as a human being, enhance the range and quality of individual and the group, help the individual participate in the basic function of society and acquire the essential educational foundation for his/her development to production and versatile citizen, train the nation manpower in the middle level skill required for the national development, develop the high level profession that will provide leadership for the nation, advance knowledge through research and apply new knowledge for improving the quality of human life, respond effectively to changing needs and conditions through system educational planning and evaluation. Why education do you think is important in the Philippines? It is important because through education, every individual has the right to develop his potential and his individual and this individual become part of the group or the community. We cannot live alone. We need each other's talent to live in a better place. Okay, every individual has their roles in life. Others become leaders and the rest become the workforce of the country. If everybody is educated and has a skill to perform their part, we can achieve a common goal to be a great nation. Let us proceed to Technical Education and Skill Development Authority, or the TESDA. This is the TESDA logo. Technical Educational and Skill Development Authority, under Section 1, the title, this act shall be known as the Technical Education and Skill Development Authority, or Technical Education Skill Development Act of 1994, or the TESDA Act of 1994. Okay? This TESDA is known in the Filipino as pangasiwaan sa edukasyong teknikal at pag-unlad sa kasanayan. Serve as the Philippine Technical Vocational Education Training or TVET Authority as a government agency. TESDA is tasked to both manage and supervise the Philippines technical education and skill development. Let us define the technical education. What does that mean? Technical education refers to the education process designed at post-secondary and lower tertiary level, officially recognized as non-degree program, aimed at preparing technicians, para-professionals, and other categories of middle-level workers by providing them with a broad range of general education, theoretically, scientific, and technological studies, and related job skills training. Let us now define what is skill development. Skill development shall be mean the process through which learner and workers are systematically provided with learning opportunities to acquire or upgrade or both their ability, knowledge, and behavior pattern required as qualification for a job or range of jobs in a given occupational area. Insight on TESDA. Republic Act 7796. This is the TESDA. This is the uh, act established by TESDA, otherwise known as the Technical Education and Skill Development Act of 1994, okay, signed into law by President Fidel B. Ramos on August 24, 1994. Okay, the responsible for this law is the President Fidel B. Ramos because he signed the law. Okay, under Section 2, Declaration of the Policy, it is hereby declared the policy of the state to provide relevant, accessible, high quality, and efficient technical education and skill development in support of the development of high-quality Filipino middle-level manpower responsive to that and in accordance with the Philippine development goals and priorities. The product of TESDA, remember that they are the middle-level class workforce. The state shall encourage active participation of various concerned sectors, particularly private enterprise, being direct participant in and immediate beneficiaries of the training and skill workforce in providing technical education and skill development opportunities. The product of TESDA is absorbed by the private institution, and some of them are applying for work in abroad. Section 3, Statement and Goals of Objectives. The Section 3 Statement of Goals and Objective, it is the goal and objective of this Act to promote and strengthen the quality of technical education and skill development program to attain international competitiveness. They focus technical education and skill development on meeting the changing demand for quality middle-level manpower. Encourage critical and creative thinking by disseminating the scientific and technical knowledge based on middle-level manpower development program. And recognize and encourage the complementary roles of public and private institutions, technical education and skill development and training system. Inculcate desirable values through the development of moral character with emphasis on work ethics, self-discipline, self-reliance, and nationalism. The product of TESDA is absorbed by the private institution, and some of them go abroad for work, but still, uh, TESDA ensure that they have the work ethics, they have discipline, they are have self-discipline and self-reliance, and of course nationalism because they are Filipinos. They must love their own citizenship or their country. That's the mandate: integrate, coordinate, monitor skill development program, restructure effort to promote and develop middle-level manpower, approve skill standard and tests, develop an accreditation system for institutions involved in middle-level manpower development, fund program and project for technical education and skill development, and assist trainer training programs. When we say integrate, we integrate the knowledge that they gain in TESDA can now be used in other fields like teaching. Example, we study computer hardware servicing or what we know as NC2. You can apply it in teaching ICT subject in public or private school. Coordination or coordinate and monitoring skills developed is done through actual experience of the learner. These are the on-hand training or on-hand activity. And let us define the middle level manpower. This refers to who have acquired practical skill and knowledge through formal and non-formal education and training equivalent to at least a secondary education, but preferably at post-secondary education with corresponding degree or diploma. They are the student finished high school or skilled worker who have become highly competent in their trade or craft as attested by industry. Most people that the TESDA courses are those applying abroad and those that did not finish college but acquiring skill that can be used in establishing a small company that is providing services. Example are beauty salon. Example of these are the orange salon. And another example is computer shops. Example of this here in Cabanatuan is the Wi-Fi. They providing services for computer repairs. After a month, the training and studying TESDA, the learner now will receive certificate of acknowledgement and accomplishment. Okay, that is the approved skill and standard test. Okay, they will receive a certificate if they after they finish their um, training and course. Uh, then develop accreditation system for institution, involve middle-level manpower development. Tibet is the test abroad. Tibet is the test abroad. Okay. The TESDA program of the government is known around the world and has its accreditation in different fields. That is why their product can now apply job in different companies, local or abroad. Okay, this TESDA is free. Apply the slot on all capital. Different courses are available. In your training TESDA, hire instructor. That's the last. They hire instructors for why they need instructor, of course, for, for them to be their teachers, professor to teach what will help and assist their trainees. Okay, let us define trainer shall mean person who direct the practice of skill toward immediate improvement in some task. Trainees shall mean person who are participant in the vocational, administrative, or technical training program for the purpose of acquiring and developing job-related skills. Trainers or trainers shall mean person who provide training to uh, providing training or to the trainers aimed at developing the latter's capabilities or imparting attitudes, knowledge, and skills and behavior pattern required for a specific job, task, occupation, or group of related occupations. The mission of TESDA is to provide direction, policies, program, and standard toward quality technical education and skill development. Direction on uh, how the program will be implemented. Who are the beneficiaries? How the beneficiary or beneficiaries will be benefited to the knowledge that they will acquire. Policies in their implementation existence. This is the Republic Act 7796. Because of this clear direction is created, communication is also clear. The programs are the courses they offer. The example of these are the shielded metal arc welding course, 2 cookery, food and beverages service, bread and pastry productions, housekeeping, electrical institution and maintenance, shielded metal arc welding course 1, computer system, servicing, bookkeeping, and contact center services. That is the program. In everything that our government implemented, quality is always present. To validate this, the trainee and the learner must finish the skill and must attain the required knowledge by passing the final exam or final execution of the skills. After the recognition of the trainee, the continuous application of exercise through application to their job or business. TestaVision is the leading partner in the development of the Filipino workforce with world-class competence and positive work values. Most of Filipino are employed abroad and rendering services. They are the OFW. As we know, Filipino are happy people. That is why we are possessing positive values everywhere we go. Filipino are very competitive and easy learner. Value statement of TESDA. TESDA believe in demonstrative competence, institutional integrity, personal commitment, and deep sense of nationalism. TESDA is learning by doing. They apply what they know. Embedded in their institution is its integrity, so as the people will always rely on them. Their employee must be committed in their work, especially in teaching to produce world-class projects. We are Filipinos, we must love our own country. TESDA CNSAT core values. Okay? I chart innovation means the innovation means the introduction of something new. Example of this is the cover of shampoo. They change over time to their marketing strategy. Okay, and the next is creativity. Is the honest type of knowledge, and Tesla is very creative. Highest type of knowledge. Creativity is the highest type of knowledge, and Tesla is a very creative in their subject because they are teaching concrete experience to the trainer or their trainer or their learners. Honesty, as we know, is the best policy. Excellence is everything that they do. It is important that they have excellence. They must possess this always. Accountable, in every action, they must have they are liable or accountable. That is why TESDA train them very skillfully so that they can work uh, reliably. Respect must always be present to avoid disgust and misunderstanding. Teamwork is very important to achieve common goals. Let us proceed to the next topic, our DepEd, vision, mission, and core values. That um, DepEd mission states that to protect and promote the right of every Filipino to quality, equitable, culture-based, and complete basic education, students learn in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment. Teachers facilitate learning and constantly nurture every learner. Administrators and staff as stewards of the institution ensure on enabling a supportive environment for effective learning to happen. Family, community, and other stakeholders are actively engaged and share responsibility for developing lifelong learners. What is the importance of having a mission to the world? Its importance is to demonstrate your organizational value to both your employees and the general public. A mission statement is not simply stating your company's desire to be the best in your field or make the best product. Instead, it is a way of showing what makes your company stand out and what makes its future so bright. The depth admission is student-centered. They're protecting the right of every Filipino children. In this mission, show constructivism, teaching the teacher facilitate the learning, and the pupils will create their knowledge. At the back of the classroom, the support is created, that is the administrators and staff. The school cannot come into existence without them. We have the saying that we need the community or the whole community to educate the child. That is why family, community, and stakeholders are encouraged to participate in molding the learners or the learning of the students. Vision: we dream of Filipino who passionately love their country and whose competence and values enable them to realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to building the nation. We are the learner-centered public institution. The Department of Education continuously improve itself, better serve its stakeholders. A vision is practically guide for creating a plans, setting goals and objectives, making decisions, and coordinating and evaluating the work of any project, large or small. The vision of DepEd passionately love is more than a true love. Your country and you is one in heart, in mind, and in soul. In here, our government wants Filipinos to have a patriotism for our country. Education centered to its learner and continuous improvement is required to the institution. Core values: maka-Diyos, makatao, makakalikasan, makabansa. Okay? Maka-Diyos, love of God; makatao, love of others; makakalikasan, love of nature; makabansa, love of the country. Our core values reflect the Filipino values and we pass it to our children. Love of God, love of others, love of nature, and love of our country. Under DepEd core values indicator concrete manifestation, the core values is strongly advised to be taught in the public government, public schools. As per DepEd Order Number 8, 2015 on page 20, for the core values of the Filipino shall be reflected in the report card. Okay, the evidence is these core values is supported by evidence, which is the report card. The core values had been translated into a behavior statement. In addition, indicators have been formulated for each behavior statement. School may craft additional indicators for the behavior statement but must not ensure that these are child-centered, gender-fair, and age and culture appropriate. To support the development of these core values, school must have sure that their homeroom guidance program promotes them. Additionally, opportunities may be integrated to class discussion in learning areas. This is the example of report card. The core values is indicated maka-Diyos, makatao, makakalikasan, and makabansa. And then, they have supported statement here for the teacher to identify what qualities being possessed by the student. And then, AO, always observe, SO, sometimes observe, RO, really observe, NO, not observe. DepEd goals, K-12 curriculum. This is the DepEd goal. Team, challenge leaders, embracing future, braving the changes. The DepEd K-12 curriculum is under the Republic Act 10533 and it is a law that must be abided by the citizen. This team, challenges leader, embracing the future, braving the changes is now in reality because of technology. Our teaching and learning pace is very innovative and highly technologically dependent. We must embrace it and we must be a digital teacher and to be techno-savvy. We must not be afraid of past changes around us, especially inside of our classroom. Reflection of the DEP admission vision and core goals. This article by Jomar Dizon de la Cruz. Okay, Jomar Dizon de la Cruz said or state that the DepEd vision first part means that the instruction dreams of producing students who have love for their country and skilled enough to contribute to their country's progress. As teachers, we dream of students who are competent and prepared enough to face everyday life. Okay, this statement refers to a patriotic learner for his country, and a learner that can stand on its own feet, that can live in this world full of challenges. We teachers dream to have students who are holistically developed and ready for life. Our vision and dreams as a teacher is much related to the DepEd vision in a way that the institution or the DepEd and the teachers have the same goal in mind. That is to produce students who are skilled with the right values and confidence that they can use as they can go on with their day-to-day lives. These sentences talk about to us teacher because we are the molder of those children. We must teach them to be ready in life with skill, knowledge, and right attitude. It is emphasized on the second part of DepEd vision and concept, learner-centered and continuously improving. Teaching must be learner-centered, that is, learning must be done by the student and teacher must only facilitate the learning. It requires active engagement of a participation of the learner while doing or delivering the lesson. Teaching and learning process must not only on a one-man show. It is not only the teacher who will do the talking or sharing. There must be always student involvement. Learner-centered meaning the teacher facilitates the learning and the learner will construct their own knowledge. Okay, here in the Philippines, education is free and this education has different law protecting the children. In our college time, our teacher taught us NCBTS. Our classroom must always be conducive of to learning, child-friendly, gender-sensitive, with respect to others' gender, and always safe for the learners. It is essential in every institution, particularly in school, to have mission as guide. Okay, the mission is the guide. The DepEd mission see to it that every learner must have an access to quality, equitable, culture-based, and complete basic education. It is also discussed in its mission that the ideal setup for quality education, the environment from where the learning happens must be conducive, child-friendly, gender-sensitive, and safe for the learner. The teacher should facilitate learning and constantly nurture every learner. Even administrators, staff, and non-teaching personnel must see to it that the school is very enabling and supportive for effective learning, and teaching and learning process must not only be confined between the teacher and the student. Active engagement of the family, parent, community, barangay official, and other stakeholders na start to develop lifelong learners. And this statement talks to the whole community because we need to be together or with the community to educate a child. These four core values are very important in the child life. It will become his foundation. These are the mission, the four core values: love of the fellow man, love of God, love of the nature, and love of the country. Become the foundation of who he will become. So teacher must not fail to teach those. Okay, the mission vision is put into reality. That is why continuous progress in education is being implemented. Make each day a meaningful one, inspire our students, imbibe to them the necessary values and competencies. They need to involve themselves to what we call life. For our students, we must just be teachers. For us teachers, we consider our work as a passion, which is putting love in our love to whatever we are doing. And the saying goes that if you love what you are working or doing, as if you are not really capable of getting tired, start loving what you are doing, start to love teaching. For our students, we are just teachers, but for us, teaching is passion. For us teacher to be successful in teaching, we must possess the love of what we are doing, and don't forget to love yourself. For you, ano, love yourself first for us to be able to love others. Let us proceed now to CHED. CHED means Commission on Higher Education. Commission on Higher Education in Filipino, it is komisyon sa mas mataas na edukasyon, komisyon sa lalong mataas na edukasyon o ng Pilipinas, of the Philippines. It is abbreviated as CHED. CHED is a government agency attached to the Office of the President of the Philippines for administrative purposes. It covers both public and private higher education institutions as well as degree-granting program in a post-secondary education institution in the country. CHED is responsible for higher education. These are the colleges in the Philippines, either public or private education. In order to be a competitive, a qualified school or university, CHED is standard issues a standard that will define the quality of education given by the institution to their students. Insight about CHED. Okay, the CHED was established on May 18, 1994 to Republic Act number 7722 of the Higher Education Act of 1994, which was authorized by Senator Francis Tatad. Authored by Senator Francis Tatad. Okay, the creation of CHED was part of the broad agenda for reform in the country's education system. Okay, outlined by the Congressional Commission on Education, or what we called EDCOM, in 1992. Part of the reform is the trifocalization of the education sector. The three governing bodies in the education sector are the Commission on Higher Education, or the CHED, the tertiary and graduate education. Then the second is the Department of Education, or the DepEd, for basic education. And the third is the Technical Education and Skill Development Authority, or the TESDA, for technical, vocational, and middle level education. Insight about CHED. The three governing bodies what uh, are the CHED, the TESDA, and the DepEd. Okay, the CHED was established on May 18, 1994 through Republic Act number 7722. Okay, then the CHED is responsible for college level, DepEd is for basic education to elementary level, and the TESDA is for vocational education. Mandates: promote quality education, take appropriate steps to assure that education shall be accessible to all, ensure and protect freedom for the continuing intellectual growth and advancement of learning, and research the development of responsible and effective leadership in education, high-level professional, and the enrichment of historical and cultural heritage. CHED mandates pertain to the pre-college education. Today, our government offers pre-college education in a public school and in the Philippines. For example of this is the NUST. The government is a government institution of education. When the student can access pre-learning, they will be educated and grow. A key leader and effective partner is transforming higher education institutions toward producing highly competent and productive professionals through dynamic, excellent, and client-oriented services. They pertain to different schools in here in the Philippines. Your partner in producing highly competent professionals is the higher education institution. CHED is committed to provide effective central office direction and implemented program and mechanism to ensure affordable, quality higher education accessible to all. CHED is responsible for the curriculum development, higher education with the help of the government. They are providing free education with high quality learning. Okay, service pledge is what you get in CHED quality services. In service pledge, uh, it states what services they offer. If you have queries and concerns, you can reach them through their contacts and numbers. So, in this sense, this pledge only define that you can reach or communicate in CHED that easily. They are open to queries and concern. Objective of higher education: number one, conservation of knowledge and values; number two, interpretation and transmission of knowledge and ideas and values; number three, the quest for truth through scholarly research; number four, the preparation for profession by intelligent and thorough training in the principle underlying the profession. Objective is the direction of an organization. Number one is an order to conserve our knowledge. This is the number one. And we must uh, pass it to the younger one. How we can conserve the knowledge and values? Pass it to the younger ones. Number two, interpretation and transmission, okay, of knowledge and ideas and values. For the younger one to fully understand, okay, its importance, the importance of knowledge and values, of conserving it, we must interpret it or explain it to them. Okay, in number three, the quest for truth through scholarly research. Uh, In our college time, we experienced doing research and studies for us to quest for the truth. And the last one, the number 4, okay, the preparation for profession by intelligent and through training in the principle underlying the profession. A college institution prepared us through training and seminars, exams, reviews for us to be able to graduate and pass the board exam. Thank you for listening. That concludes my report.